just made a decision for myself because of how sensitive I am to imagery more than anything. Like yo, like, and then for me, for my whole life, basically, I've been nominated to enter into acts. Not only, and I said this to one of my friends yesterday. For whatever reason, me personally, I've been nominated to not only access certain rooms, but to figure out how to thrive and become leadership in rooms that don't nobody look like me. Um, and for anybody that's ever had to done that, understands what that means for real, you know. And so to try to put that in context over and over again is just something that um, I haven't quite found the words how to um, combat. My sister, it's insane when I watch her day to day. She's in the same position. L's in a similar position. You're in a similar position. Not only are you guys in these rooms, y'all are leading these rooms more times than not, and then with some pushback with like minimal leadership that may be above you, but it's corporate, right? And so it's navigating a unique space where a lot of those people in those spaces are pretending to be, or no, I take that back, are do identify as liberal, and now what we're getting to witness as a nation, as a people, is what we've been saying since the beginning of the show. What I've known for most of my life, having been raised in and around people who identify as liberal, is that them motherfuckers do the most harm, do the most damage, undermine initiatives the most. And so that is my reason for asking both of you gentlemen, because of the corporate world, but because of how many of those people identify as liberal, present themselves as liberal, and still don't have any inclination or incapable of unpacking how much damage their rhetoric, their stances, their silence, um, their actions, all of that shit, how much it actually does. So that is my, because again, like I said, y'all came in here, I was like, yo, who got topics? I don't have shit, dog. Like things came across that I was fascinated with and I wanted to be entertained by. But again, and this ain't like my white friends for sure hit me like, yo, trying to get perspective, but my black partners though did me the coldest. It's like yo, money, like you're usually so good with words at these times, man. We need something from you. I'm like, huh? Nigga, I got 5 albums dedicated to this. Nigga, nobody wouldn't fucking listen in. I was way too deep then. So what do you want from me now? Right now, what do you want from me now other than entering the realm of the niggas who's promoting shit right now? Anybody that's saying something is promoting something right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, bro, I 3 or 4 songs are supposed to drop this week. An album is on the way. A video trailer is supposed to. I'm not here for none of this shit, dog. None of it. And the pod is just a safe space to get with my niggas and talk and like work through things. So that's why I wanted to be here. But it's been for me, and I'm 100% here for anybody who has anything on just like, yo, that's selfish. We'll do like, nah. I see it for what I see it for. We do this show weekly. We have these discussions weekly. The me dedicating my life to art means that in correlation to that, I've dedicated my life to telling the Black American story in a way that is not undermining our advancement. And what I mean by that is all these niggas that's up here, and I got smoke for everybody today. The liberals, the left, the right, your fake woke, everybody getting it today. So don't just we won't just harp here, but we can start here. The niggas who make shit constantly, produce shit and distribute shit that undermine our advancement, that are now able to double back and leverage it as like, oh, I'm on a fuck you. Seriously, I mean that. Like that shit is bothering me up there with everything else. It's disgusting because it's real. Mr. Floyd's mother, children, like everybody is dealing with, like, his immediate people are dealing with his pain. G, where I thought you were gonna go, and maybe this is, and cut me off this second if I'm overstepping, but auntie, your mom reaching out last night and going like, yo, here's a great topic for the pod, which she bodied it. Shout out auntie. This time period, this week is an impossible week for the family. But so I can't even imagine what it is for you moms, sissy, like trauma, pain, people working through shit for real. Like, and trying to exist. So now not only is it enough to know that this injustice and this fucking this type of evil exists. Not only is enough to have that, to press niggas about not wanting to engage with the constant imagery of seeing black bodies. Bro, I don't have no interest in seeing that time and time again. That nip, the fact that nip video is out and exists is painful, bruh. George Floyd, like, watching him die, like, it's crazy. And so everybody reposting and sharing that, thinking like, hey, I'm bringing awareness to it. No, go find me a video of somebody white being murdered, please. Anybody that's listening to the show, please go find me a video of somebody white being murdered and send it to me. Your kids don't have to see that. You don't have to have that discussion with your kids, with the babies of your group. Grant, when my fifth or sixth grade teacher showed us Emmett Till, the story of Emmett Till, thinking that she was doing a great thing in terms of just like, yo, her liberal self bringing awareness and fighting the black. Bro, that shit, I had nightmares from. Ask my mom. I had nightmares for months behind that shit, and finally had to ask Gigi about it. Why does Gigi have pictures from the funeral that day in Chicago? Her grandmother was there. So whether you buy into it or not, that how that trauma gets passed down. So now when L get his license, we just going over, we completely out of the way of the shit. We knew better than to go fuck around with chicks who stayed in the East, who stayed in the Rich, man. We all the way in motherfucking, we would drive anywhere not to be in the shit just
it
to
don't
go
matter, bro.
just to stay out of the shit, just to think, because we thinking we ease in the minds of our mothers and our grandmothers. They would call us all night. My mom got insomnia to this. Brian lived with my mom in almost a fucking decade, and she still called me, where you at? Lady, I'm grown. That don't matter. She has a fear of her black son being murdered by several entities. That's
all parts of the elements, man. Like, man, a target's on our back wherever we go, no matter what's going on.
It ain't safe.
So
It ain't safe.
So for us to move as though there's a target on our back at all times would mean that we would get no enjoyment out of this life.
Man.
But it's still necessary to know. It's not so much necessary to show that you have that's a thing. You know what I mean? Because I think for the most part, reacting in a certain type of way is like when somebody's like poking you, right? The means of it is for you to react the way that they want you to, right? So eventually they want you to then jump at them and show them the attention that they so desperately would like, you know what I mean? When in essence, what's scarier to people is to not know what you're thinking at all times. Like if I do something to you and you don't react the way that I thought that you would, now I'm afraid. because how the fuck did you not do exactly what I envisioned in my mind for you to do? You know what I mean? And that part right there is where you start getting the mental edge. We need the mental edge. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. We are dying left and right. I get it. I understand. This is continuous. This is ongoing. I understand
This is a
every last bit of it.
never ending story.
It's a never-ending story, bro. You know how many of us have died? You know what I mean? But do you know how in the hell in a group that's so marginalized end up dying so often and for so long and still be here and doing great things? Like, how does that possibly happen?
And go ahead, my bad.
Go for it, because like I don't because it's. I mean, people might think of like divine intervention or something like that. Like, I don't know what you want to call whatever your beliefs are and stuff like that. I think more so there is an interior power that we have to harness. Individuals are able to harness it great. How we get it to a group is, unfortunately, and I put this in the text last night, but through things like this, I mean, there are unfortunately sacrifices. Like, it tends to happen. But if for some reason at the end of that, it pushes the people with that internal power to come together more, then by all means. I mean, I don't want to see nobody else die, bro. But truth be told, like I'm not the one that's afraid of it happening on my end. You know what I mean? I've already chalked that part up on my side. You know what I mean?
And that goes back to that, like, the people dealing with shit. Like, perhaps niggas thought we was making it up. Let's roll with that.
That's the conversation me and my mom had. Because my mom's 74. So she's older. So she done seen
some shit.
And she grew up in the South.
Yeah.
So she was asking me, she was like,
so that's trauma on trauma.
She was like, I don't understand why you guys always got to show the body to each other. And I was like, I guess some people say so that way people know. She was like, these motherfuckers know. She was like, these motherfuckers been killing people.
Bruh, there was the newspapers in the South would send photographers to the lynchings and then print them in the newspaper.
Straight like that.
The news aired the fucking dogs and the water hoses in Birmingham. Like, there's video footage. I've seen that video footage countless times. The bombings in Philadelphia. Seen those images plenty of times. The bombings in Oklahoma on the original Black Wall Street. Fucking the Rodney King footage. Nigga, I was 2. And I have a vivid image of that because it's been shown throughout my entire life. So again, I ask the room and people listening, how come they're the only images of people being murdered in mass that we ever see? Or no, not even in mass, because mass would kind of generalize it in a way where it's not, all right, that was an anomaly. No, an individual, like one single person being murdered at one time by another person in uniform. Somebody got. Can we start there? Can we answer for that? You show me the footage of Nip being murdered. Family's gonna go to trial, plead insanity, all this shit. That he looked pretty sane to me. Looked like all his marbles was clicking. All right, cool. And it's like, oh, that's black. Fuck that. I'm talking about the image of a black life just being taken, period, at the hands of anyone. But especially now, you want to flip it on some real sick shit. Have it be in a person, be it a white person in uniform that's supposed to protect and serve with a knee on somebody's neck for 6 to 9 fucking minutes, bro. And show it over and over and over and over, and kids that have not fully developed yet the fear that the lasting fear that has, but then adults, grown ass people that don't know they scared, that don't know that they're moving scared, and how that affects how they raise their children, how they interact with their children, how they educate their children, how they deal with their spouse. More importantly, the trauma works in so many different ways, and we try to and everybody else can get a healthy diagnosis for it, or a diagnosis that protects them. Both their person and their well-being, except for Black people. The second we're diagnosed, it's like that are what we're funneled through educationally, what we're funneled through monetarily is poverty, which is more fucking trauma. And that back to L's point, the great point that L was making in terms of how many sacrificial lambs for us to start approaching it tactfully and realize what's going on for real. Because all this can happen. The world's closed down because of COVID, open right back up, and we take our black dollars and go right back to the people that are oppressing us, that are colluding with the people that are killing us.